Family, if you guys could hear me, please put a quam in the chat. If you guys could hear me, please put a quam in the chat. If you guys could hear me, please put a quam in the chat. If you guys can hear me, put a quam in the chat. I don't know what's going on with the chat. 1 second, family. Okay. You see, it was me on my end. Now let's start this all over again. It's now that I'm seeing the qualms. Praise the Most High. All right. Thank you guys for coming in.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
I know you guys like that. But nonetheless, we're going to start the show. Family, how's everybody doing? How's everybody in the house doing? Right? Like I said, please hit that like button. Hit everything that you can hit. So that way we could drive the traffic to this channel. So we're gonna get started, but before we do that, I'm gonna play a little song for you guys, just to get the show started. And as we're continue to drive the traffic, continue to share, this channel, and welcome to the Born of Levi experience. Right? We're gonna get right into it. This song was from my latest EP. It's called Jerusalem, featuring myself, Azariah, Hebrew Fresh, Officer Rawchaa. Let's get it.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Our emotions like hearts, yeah, we hung on trees. Looking at this captivity where they carry me. They told us sing us a song and now we can't be. Oh, it's such a tragedy. The heathen trying to bury me. I ain't got the remedy. Jerusalem was in my blood the day I came out. If I forget about you, please my tongue and out from my mouth. The Lord ain't praying, no doubt. Remember Edom, no doubt. When he said raise it, and he kicked us all out. The Lord ain't playing, no doubt. Remember Edom, no doubt. He said raise it, and he kicked us all out. Daughter of Babylon, happy shall we be when he will reward thee the same way you serviced us. Oh, I said I'm talking about Jerusalem. She's the mother of us all. They carried us to Babylon. I'm singing this song. The way I seen them scriptures, it was talking about me. I pray my brothers and my sisters could see. I said I'm talking about Jerusalem. She's the mother of us all. They carried us to Babylon. I'm singing this song. The way I seen the scriptures, it was talking about me. I pray my brothers and my sisters could see. I said I'm talking about Jerusalem.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Glory to the Most High. Lips don't praise nothing other than. Spirit give me utterance. Can't expect them to understand. Laws and statutes are only government. Captivity over. Bounce back like a rubber band. Grateful the Father gave us another chance. Christ laid down his life for us to live. What a friend. Took out the land for the sins that we paid for. They burnt the temple in the city we prayed toward. Jerusalem, city of peace. Messiah is ruling them. Oh Israel, the Lord God is one. It can't be two of them. Trying to put forth the effort. Oh, a higher mercy, it can't be measured. Israel number like the sand. We be led back to the land through a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert.
Please, family, continue to hit that like button and share this channel.
I'm singing this song. The way I seen the scriptures, it was talking about me. I pray my brothers and my sisters could see. I said I'm talking about Jerusalem. She's the mother of us all. Carried us to Babylon. I'm singing this song. The way I seen the scriptures, it was talking about me. I pray my brothers and my sisters could see. I said I'm talking about Jerusalem.
Stolen from a land so precious, she was our blessing. The mother of us all. Ruach Kodesh would test us. That's sin drove us out, automatic like a Tesla. Jerusalem, wisdom in the midst of us, our weapon. The nations, they despised us, provoking all the drama. Captive in these strange lands, just wanna see my mama. Just wanna supplicate up in the temple like I'm Salah. Men so tired of sin, Zion just I can. She mourned through our pain and the rain of tears from my veins. Blood, how the spirit cry, love just my will to die.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
To a more gathered, Yeshaya in the midst of them. Prayers towards our motherland like Daniel in the midst of the fire. Honor, praise to a higher. By Hashem Yeshaya, we walk with us, Aman.
Did you know the holy place, it was our home? In the temple's holy place, made with solid gold. But no, we didn't follow all of his ways, like Deuteronomy says in 28:68 now. We're locked in bondage, cause we crossed the line. We pass off the margin. I miss the days when our feast was solemn. Now in the land, the Gentiles, they trodden, and they trodden on Jerusalem. And she's waiting, my tears are wine. I like my oblation. The beautiful land, I cannot forsake it. Of milk and honey, ain't talking no carnation. But I'll keep waiting to be ready. Cause in my heart, she's a part of me. Jerusalem, set us free. She keeps calling back for me. I said I'm talking about Jerusalem.
Yes, family. That was Jerusalem, featuring myself, Azariah, Hebrew Fresh, and your choir, man. So praise the Most High for that. Like I said, I really do appreciate you guys for coming in. And please continue to do me a favor. If you are entertained right now, I need you to continue to hit that like button.
Are you not entertained?
And I know you will be entertained. Welcome, family, to the Born of Levi experience here on G.O.C.C. Media. I am Officer Hazak, right? Many of you may know me from my previous channel, the Born of Levi experience. Some of you may know me from G.O.C.C. NYC in Brooklyn, from the Friday night lessons. Some of you might just know me from just the Passover plays, right? Or some of you might know me for being a musician. It seems like I wear many hats nowadays, but nonetheless, we give all praises to the Most High. And I'm happy that you guys are here with me right now. Today is just an introductory show. I seen somebody ask, sister, I don't want to get their name wrong, was Lasena Terry, am I gonna do the stupor tonight? I'm gonna introduce all of that because there's a lot of people who may not know me for that content, so I want to let you guys know as an introductory show what this channel, or what I will be doing on this channel for my Thursday night segments, right? Once again, welcome family. I really appreciate you guys coming in on a Thursday. You guys could have been doing anything. Usually on a Thursday night, I'll be in a pool hall shooting pool, right? But I'm here with you guys, right? Or matter of fact, as of late, we've been rehearsing for the Passover play, but we're going to get there, right? So once again, my name is Hazak Nagad, full Hebrew name, Officer Hazak Nagad, right? Out of G.O.C.C. NYC, right? Under Bishop Shamal. Make some noise for Bishop Shamal. Make some noise. And for all the G.O.C.C. family throughout the four corners of the earth, I definitely want to start by saying, I want to publicly thank the elders for trusting me with this platform and allowing me to come on and to definitely share my piece with the family, share my piece with the people. Double honors goes out to the elders who have, put their lives on the line day in, day out, right, for us to receive this truth. So, we got to continue to keep our elders in prayer. But once again, I'm Born to Levi, or the channel is called Born to Levi Experience, Officer Hazak, right? So now, what are we going to be doing on this channel, right? As you can see, I started playing some Hebrew music, what we like to call Hebrew music, right? So I want to definitely use this platform. Listen clearly. I want to definitely use this platform to start sharing our music, especially our Hebrew artists. artists, I should say, because the world is promoting their musicians, their artists. Why not us, right? Especially for the vetted and committed members of our congregation. So much of our members and so much musicians in our church have so much great talent and so much great music, uplifting and spiritual music that the world needs to hear, especially in a time like this. We definitely need our people to start tuning in to what we have to bring, right? So that's going to be one segment of this show. Another segment of the show, somebody already said it. So every week, what I used to do was bring forth what's called the stupor of the week. Let me just show you guys this real quick. Right? So every week we was tracking what the Most High calls the stupor. So every week I would find an article or find something that reminds us that we're living in that stupor. So definitely, I will definitely be bringing that back on this channel, right? So much more stuff that I want to do. Conversation pieces. We're definitely going to have conversations about a lot of things that's going on. And what I want to point out, this scripture, right? This is going to be almost like the theme of this channel, or of me streaming on Thursdays. Because why? We are a people that are coming back to our nationality, our heritage, right? And it seems like we have nothing. But guess what? The Most High actually prophesied and said this. Look, I'm gonna just share my screen with you guys. Look at this. This is gonna be like the theme. So every time you come on this platform, always remember this scripture. And it's so ironic because Elder touched on so much great points last night. If you guys was tuned in on his broadcast last night, the rebirth of a nation, the real rebirth of a nation, because as the Most High stated it, they can't stop this, but we're gonna continue to push. But look at this, right? I want to share this scripture with you guys. I love this scripture so much because it reminds me of what we're doing, of this time that we're in right now. So I'm in Daniel 2:44. It says, in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom. Keep that in mind. Set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. So in the midst of this kingdom, the Most High will start to bring or to set up another kingdom, i.e. rebuilding a kingdom, right? Which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Y'all heard that? It shall stand forever. So I want to make this scripture the theme of this particular stream, or every stream that I'm taking part of, because why? We are that remnant that will start to rebuild. And as the Most High has given us back our heritage, he's given us back our understanding, right? There's much that we have to do with just understanding. And one thing that I want to point out too is when we first come into truth, right? We think that it's the end. It's not really the end. It's actually the beginning. Because the reason why I say a lot of us think is the end, because we find the truth and give up on all the goals that we used to have in our lifetime. I'm talking about the realistic goals. So Christ told us, while he's still waiting to come, tarry, don't just sit around. Make busy while he come. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself busy. So that means that we shouldn't just be sitting in a corner somewhere waiting for him to just crack the sky. There's a lot of things to be done. There's a lot of work to be done, right? So I want everybody to keep that in mind. Every time we come in this, you come on this channel, we're going to be talking about something that's going to help build us, right? Spiritually, mentally, physically, right? Maybe financially. Yeah, some of you guys probably like that. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely going to have a lot of fun on this channel. And I'm definitely looking forward to all your support. And to everybody who's been pushing me and encouraging me to keep going, thank you, right? Because we're here now. So I appreciate you guys for coming in, and I already made y'all do that. And another thing too, when I'm on, y'all always gonna hear me ask y'all to put a qualm in the chat if I sound good. So we all know what qualm means, right? Right? Let me put it this way so you guys can see it. Qualm, right? I need them qualms in the chat if I'm coming in loud and clear. But definitely, I'm definitely gonna talk about how you guys, if you guys would like to participate, and if you're an artist, I'm gonna definitely put out that information as far as how you can reach out and how we can make sure that you are a vetted, a vetted member in the church, in good standings, and you'll give your tunes some spins, right? So yeah, man, I'm really excited, man. What I really wanted to do as well too, because a lot of you may not know me. Some of you guys may have just seen me passing by, or hey, Shalom, how's everything going? Or hey, what's going on? Or just see me on the screen, or see me during Passover, during passing, or with the musicians, whatever cases. But I want to give everybody a formal of who is Hazak, who is Hazak Nagad, who is born of Levi, who is this guy, who is this person that you guys are seeing that is now a part of G.O.C.C media, right? Where can I start? Let me take a sip of this tea. Right? Where can I start? I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to start, and trust me, guys, it's this conversation that I'm going to have with you guys right now is really going to be an eye-opening experience for everybody. Even if you just came into this walk and you're just trying to find your way, what I'm going to talk about is my personal experience. So you could say it's like a testimony, so to speak. And what better way to share the testimony with my family, right? So here we go, right? We were in so-called 2023, right? So about 10 years ago, approaching 10 years now. Wow, time flies. About 10 years ago, I found the truth. I found what I was looking for, what I was searching for. Right. I was born and raised in the Christian church, right? A Baptist Christian church, right? Of course. My whole life, all I knew was Sunday worship. All I knew was the pagan feasts of this world, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, you name it. But as I got, I grew up in the church. I'm a musician, right? That's what I do. I play music. I play keyboard. If you guys can see my keyboard here, when I'm making beats and stuff like that, or playing music for the choir. Right. So I was a musician in the church that I grew up in. Right. The man who raised me was the pastor of the church. So you could say my adopted father. Great man. Right. Very stern. And I feel like even though he's not my biological father, like I feel like I picked up a lot of his traits. Like it happened. So, I praise the Most High for allowing me to be raised by such a man. Right. So he was pastor of the church. I was raised under his roof, right? Myself and my sister, right? And my brother as well, who passed when I was younger. So growing up until about the age of, I would say 25, 26, I would say about 26, 26 turning 27. I had like an epiphany or a awakening within myself. Right. I was looking at one. I remember like it was yesterday. I'm in church. It was a Sunday morning. I'm on the keyboard, and they're going with their routine of the service. And I'm looking around. And for those of you who know me and who never heard this part of the story, tune in. Right. So I'm sitting there. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the members of the church. I'm like, and I said within myself, I don't see myself raising my family in this church. I don't know where it came from. I just said that. Right? So, I found myself on a journey, like seeking to want to learn the Bible, because I was born and raised in the church. Of course, I knew the basic stories. Like we all know the basic stories, right? right? We know about David and Goliath, right? From Sunday school. We know about all of the basic stuff, but we didn't go in too deep. Certain things that they just didn't teach in the Christian church. But as a young man, and in my generation, if you was born from, I would say from 1980 to about, I'll give y'all until about 95. If you pass 95, I don't know. But from 80 to about 95, my generation is very inquisitive. Like I was a kind of young person or a young man who didn't take information well from people that I didn't trust. Like if you was an accredited source, if I asked you a question and you gave me a response, I would ask you why. Or if you came to me and told me something, I wanted to know why. So I would go and look for the why myself. So that's the kind of young man I was. And a lot of people from my generation, we were the ones who asked. Our parents' generation, they were the generation that received and said, okay, this must be what it is. Our generation was, you're giving me this, but why are you giving me this? This doesn't make any sense. So as I started getting older and I'm looking around, right? I hope you guys could agree with that or could attest to that. People who's in my generation. No, no shot to nobody, to people who's not in my generation, older or younger, right? I mean, the Most High woke us all up in different ways, right? So, like I said, so getting older, I'm seeing the same thing, repetitiveness every Sunday, whatever the case is. So then, I started to search for my own, and I realized that my prayers started to change. I started to ask the Most High. Before I knew He was the Most High, I started to ask Him, like, yo, when in my prayer, I was like, I want to know Your Word. That's all I simply ask. It's like, I know now that wasn't me asking for that. The scriptures tell you the Spirit, it utters things that we don't even know what to say, right? So I was praying and asking the Most High, like, yo, I want to know Your Word. I want to be able to recite Your Word inside and out. I want to be able to break down Your Word. I want to know it, because I was in church every Sunday and I would leave church and not know what I was being taught. So then it went from me asking the Most High that to church hopping. In my mind, I said, okay, if I'm not getting it here, I definitely could get it in another church. Then, born and raised in Brooklyn, the biggest pagan temple that we have are Christian. I'm sorry, let me just say it like that. Okay. All right. The biggest Christian church that we have in Brooklyn is, one of them is actually the Christian Cultural Center, CCC. Right. So I would go there or attend there to try to get some word. I would leave there with nothing. Right. Until one day I was in school. I was going to this trade school for to be an electrician. Right. So one day I was on break, and there was this tall brother. Right. His name is Daniel. My man Daniel, man. So I remember one time we was on lunch. I seen him on the corner, and the Israelites, they was outside. And it wasn't G.O.C.C, brothers and sisters, because I would have known. All right. They had all the battle armor on, the battle gear. You know what I'm saying? They had everything. All they was missing was the morpher. This morphing time. That's all they was missing. Right? But I'm watching him, and he's standing there listening to them. And I'm like, and I looked at him, and I'm like, yo, bro, don't listen to them, man. They're gonna mess your head up. And mind you, I'm a Christian at this time. My head is messed up. But I felt to tell him that because I used to have experience with the Israelites growing up. Right. I would say in 1998 to 2000, there was a group of Israelites, brothers who bought a house not too far from where I lived, and they all lived in one house in Brooklyn. And they used to walk my sister home. They used to follow my sister home and, try to talk to her. Maybe they were trying to marry her. Who knows? But they would always see me and say, hey, little man, yo, you believe in Jesus Christ? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. And they're like, yo, remember we told you, man, Jesus Christ is coming in the year 2000. That was the whole 2000 doctrine. And then I debunked them because as a kid in church, we was taught no man knows the hour of day. But so I had my experience with the Israelites from a young age. So when I grew up, I already said to myself, yo, I'm writing these people off. They're crazy. Right. So then I seen my boy talking to them, and I told him like, yo, be careful, man. They're gonna mess your head up. He looks at me, and this is what really got me, because I felt like I was a person that people used to listen to. But when I said that to him, he looks at me and looks away and starts and continues to look at them and talk and listen to them preach. So I'm like, all right, whatever the case is, I just leave it on. I'm like in my head, I'm like, all right, he's into that. Cool. Right. So then I believe it's the next day during lunch, we're all, walking to get food. And he talk with me and him. For some reason, me and out of the group, we get isolated, me and him. We talking. And he's like, yo, man, remember the other day you see me talking to the Israelites? I'm like, yeah, you was wilding. And he was like, nah, I'm not wilding. Then he asked me the question that he asked me a question that I wanted to answer from since I was a little kid. Okay, backtrack. All right, stay with me. All right, if I lost y'all, I'll start from the beginning. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Right, but I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. Growing up in the church, I used to ask my dad and ask all the other elders in the church, even in Sunday school, if God loves us all no matter what, why he put us in slavery? Why is there racism against black people? These are the questions that I wanted answers to when I was a child. Because I remember all the documentaries of them showing us, dogs sicking our people, the fire hoses. I remember seeing that, and it was traumatizing as a child. And I'm like, why are they showing us this in school? And why does everybody think this is okay? Like, as a young kid, I knew that something was wrong. How come we were the only people that this was happening to? I used to ask my pops, why God did this to us? I got the same answer from every adult in my church. Well, you cannot question God. God do what he want. So you cannot question that. And you're, like I told you, as a young man, as a younger child, that wasn't good enough for me. You're not going to tell me that God could do whatever he wants and not explain to me why am I being treated that way. So as a kid, I wanted that answer. So now fast forward back to being a young adult, 26 to 27, right? My classmate asks me, right? He asks me, where did you come from? I was like, well, my people, I'm American. I was born here. I'm American, but my family, they're from Haiti. He's like, okay, what happened to your people in Haiti? I said, of course, they were slaves, but they were freed. And he said, okay, so where did they come from before slavery? And I was like, I would guess Africa. And he said, so why were they put in slavery? And I was like, yo, that's a good question, because I don't know. Then he looked at me. He said, yo, you got a Bible in the house? And at the time, funny story about this Bible too. At the time, I only had the New King James Version Bible, right? I was like, yeah, I got a Bible. He's like, all right, when you go home, I want you to read Deuteronomy 28. And after you read that, tomorrow, when you tell me tomorrow you read it, and then I'll give you more information. So at this point, I'm wide open now, right? I'm like, oh, word, go to Deuteronomy. I'm going to go home and read it. I drove home, speeding home. I got home. The first thing, I dropped my bag. The first thing I did was went to that Bible. And I sat in my living room. I lived in the basement of my father's house, right? Open up the Bible. I'm reading Deuteronomy 28 to myself. I'm reading it. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, yo, this is the answer. This is what I've been asking people for since I was a child. And I'm actually reading the answers. So by the time I get to verse 68, and ye shall be sold, I'm like, oh, nah, this is us. Go back to school the next day. And he's looking at me, and I got the biggest grin on my face. And he's like, you read it? I'm like, of course I read it. I was like, that's us. That's our people. He's like, all right, good. Now I could tell you more. Yo. Listen. So he started telling me more. And from that point on, that's when my journey began. And so praise the Most High, when I came in, when the next information he gave me, brothers and sisters, I kid you not, was Elder Rawchaa's video. I would never forget this first video I ever seen. It was Albert Pike, Son of Satan, on one of the classic channels, Sons of the Most High, or Judas Back, one of those classic channels. And when I tell you, I press play, it's like as I'm watching it, my eyes could not move from the screen. Just downloading it, listening, everything is making sense. Then it went from there to me binge watching so much videos. Then a thought came to my mind. It's like, yo, you got to start taking notes, because you might have to start teaching this soon. Because at that time, as I'm learning this information, I'm a youth leader at my church. They was raising me up to be the next youth pastor, because I was asking, because remember I was telling you guys that I really had a desire to want to learn the word. So I was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna have to go to school. I'm gonna have to go to theologian school. I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, yeah, can you refer me to the best theologian school that you went to? He's like, his eyes lit up. He was happy, right? I was about to enroll into seminary school, theologian school, brothers and sisters. I was really about to go there because I wanted to learn. And the Most High said, nah, let me bring you over here. Let me show you this. So then, I'm going through the videos. I'm learning so much, right? Then I started to, on the low during youth service, started teaching them. The first thing I started teaching them about was Easter. And you guys know how that all played out. Long story short, right? It's only so much you could do before you get separated from the falsehoods. So from there, I was on my own learning. And this is before I even knew that there was a G.O.C.C. NYC. So now we're looking at, this was happening, I would say late 2012 into 2013. And then now mid 2013, like I'm on my own, or beginning of 2013, whatever, I'm on my own learning, just watching lessons. The Most High blessed me with a job where I had so much downtime that I could continue my studies at work. Praise the Most High for that, right? So then I had just doing the regular routine, watching YouTube, watching Blog Talk, just getting fed all over. But I was a person who I was brought up in the church, and I had no fellowship, and I missed that because I felt like I was alone. And brothers and sisters, I'm gonna tell you, that journey was very tough, because when you come from a situation where you had so much family and friends around you, and you had to make a decision for the Most High to either choose them or choose the Most High, that's a tough decision for a lot of people. And I could see, and I understand why certain people cannot detach themselves from old habits because of the comfortability. I'm a person where once I learn the truth, or the truth of anything, you cannot bring me back to anything that's false. I refuse to do it. I'm not going to psych myself out and say, yeah, maybe it's going to work. No, I'm not going to do that. So I had to strip myself from the core belief system that I only knew since I was a child, which was Christianity. But I was willing to take that chance because I believed that the Most High gave me the answers to what I was looking for. Doubled that, right? So I was on the process of just being alone. I would share the truth here and there, right? So then it came to me one day. I'm like, yo, let me start asking my friends that I've been sharing the truth with. Shout out to my best friend, Brother Yahal, or Randy, who's still a part of the church as well, too. Who's part of the church. We've been in this walk with me, too. Shout out to him. Right? So called him up one day, and I'm like, yo, bro, you if I started a Bible study, would you come? He's like, yeah. I mean, all we doing is just watching videos. So he was down. Then there was these two other sisters. I spoke to them, and it was a go. So literally we would meet every Friday night or Wednesday night, one of the two, before my schedule changed, right? and we would have Bible study, and guess what? We was having Bible study, and I was just teaching them what I was writing down from Elder Rawchaa, right? The whole time. So then, and it's funny how the Most High worked, because at that point, I didn't know that what I was doing right there would transpire to where I'm at right now. I just was moving obedient to the Most High's word at that point in time, right? So it gets interesting, guys. I'm gonna try to catch you up to speed to where we here right now, right? So we started having the Bible studies, and then it started becoming a word of mouth thing, and then people just started coming. People just was coming to the Bible studies, and it went from us having Bible studies at each other's house to me having access to a college classroom that I wasn't a student of. How does that work? How does that work? So the Most High had it where I was teaching Bible study in a college classroom, in a college campus, a known university, right? Here in Brooklyn. I was teaching in a classroom. I was not a student there. I didn't take any classes there, but I had access to a classroom, and people would come and we would teach and whatever the case is. Then that's how that grew. Then I finally got in contact with Elder Rawchaa through Blog Talk. This is years ago. He might not even remember this, but this is during a time where there was something wild or something weird going on in the church with some brother who was doing some crazy heresies. And I called up, and then I got connected with Gabar, who was formerly known as Elder Gabar of the G.O.C.C. NYC. Got connected with him. Then this is now the end of 2013 going into 2014, because my son was born 2014, my first son, right? So got connected with the church, G.O.C.C. NYC. I let them know that I had a Bible study. I had people congregating, whatever the case is. And, we was going to merge churches at that time. This is back in 2013, 2014. But then, a lot of things was happening, a lot of miscommunications between myself and Elder Gabar at the time, right? So we just decided to part ways. There was nothing doctrinally, like no anger, no strife. It was just, we was not seeing, like, certain things just wasn't working out. My schedule, his schedule, the commuting back and forth. But it is what it is. So at that time, we still was operating. The members was growing, whatever the case is. And then, from time to time, people would ask, "Hey, are you guys G.O.C.C? Are you guys G.O.C.C?" I would tell them, "No, we're not G.O.C.C. I definitely love the elders. We learn from the elders, but we're not part of the church. And if it's the Most High's will for us to join the church, we will join the church." And I was just saying that loosely, not knowing that what I was saying would come to pass. Right? Follow me. So now, about 4 years now passed since that. We get the conversation of us merging churches actually came back into play again. This is 2018 now, right? So myself and Elder Gabar at the time, who was Elder Gabar, right? We sat down and we ironed everything out, and we both realized that there was just a large miscommunication that was happening between me and him. And I'm going to tell you this, brothers and sisters, and this is the most important part of this whole story. And I want to say this for anybody as well too who's struggling with position of power. Right? I'm gonna make it clear, because there's times where you could be a pastor, you could be whoever you could be, and you could have members in your church, but the feeling of losing your members because of a new authority figure usually stops people from taking the next step for growth. Is actually growth, right? So within those conversations that I was having with Elder Gabar, who was Elder Gabar at the time, right? I was feeling in myself, and this was the flesh, and this is how you know it was the flesh speaking, right? And I don't think I told anybody this, but I'm gonna say it publicly, right? I was struggling within myself, like saying, okay, so we're going to merge churches. So that means, I'm going to just have to take the back seat or whatever case. And my spirit, like something in my spirit was like, well, not my spirit, my flesh was like, yo, don't do it. Don't do it, man. You really going to do this? Then what you going to do? How you going to congregate? How you going to get this? How you going to do this? How you going to da-da-da-da-da-da? That was the flesh speaking. So then I said to myself, you know what? Let me just take the back seat. Let me go on a fast. I went on a fast. I just did a day fast because my mind I couldn't handle the pressure and the decision that I had to make to merge the churches and to just play the backseat. And I was like, yo, but listen. So I did a fast. And in that fast, I asked the Most High, I'm like, yo, whatever it is and this is what I asked the Most High. This is what I told him. Whatever it is that you want me to do, I will do it. Just make it plain. Make it so I can see. I kid you not, brothers and sisters. After that fast, I woke up the next morning. It's like everything was clear. I kid you not. I can't even if I was trying to lie to you, I wouldn't be able to. Everything became clear. Everything just made sense as to what I had to do. Because one thing that I want to put out there is obedience. The Most High, he loves obedience. And if there's anything that you could do to please the Most High, yes, one is faith. That's the first thing. But your obedience to the Most High is what he's really looking for. Because if you look at all the examples of our forefathers, they had obedience. Look at Abraham. His obedience was what it was needed, right? So it was clear, Then the next day I called up Gabar. I'm like, yo, listen, let's do this thing. Like, let's because I was like, yo, you said you're gonna come, so you come to Brooklyn, right? We had an event space which we're still at right now, which is the headquarters for G.O.C.C. Brooklyn, right? So praise the Most High for that. And you see, I didn't even know in hindsight that the Most High was actually setting it up for us to merge churches so that way the work could expand in Brooklyn. And imagine if I stood in the way of that, brothers and sisters. Y'all wouldn't even know who the Born of Levi experience is right now. Y'all would not know who is this Born of Levi guy. Right? So, we set it up. And sure enough, the next Shabbat, he came. Him and Officer Zachariah, my brother. I love this brother. And I'm telling you guys right now, like, I didn't think I could find anyone who could match my zeal at that time. But when I met Officer Zachariah, it's like, yo, it's like this was my long lost brother. We were separated at birth, 3 years apart, right? But so Elder Gabar came, Officer Zachariah. And another officer at the time, Officer Zebulon, who's no longer with us, right? Part of the church. So they came, they did the lessons. We went through the 4 baptism lessons. And that year, we all got rebaptized into the church of G.O.C.C. NYC. 2018, y'all. So we merged churches. And when I say that was the best decision that I've ever made as far as life-changing decisions, though that is one of them. Because of that, the work or the growth in NYC has blossomed just from the merging of what we were doing in Brooklyn and what they were doing in the Bronx. So we just brought it together. And it was like a missing piece that was missing, because same doctrine, we're under the same teacher, but now we're under the same roof now. So praise the Most High for that. So I said all that to say that this was my journey from that time to now 2023. I had no clue that I would be in this position right now in 2023 because of a brother from my school who said, yo, do you know how your people was enslaved? Like, I had no clue that this would turn out to be this. But the obedience, brothers and sisters, and I want to key in on that, brothers and sisters. Remain and always be obedient to the Most High and to leadership. I'm gonna put that on first, because, and I also want to make this be known too, because praise the Most High that when I came into the truth, or when the Most High presented this to me, I fell right into Elder Rawchaa's lap. Like, I didn't need no other information. I didn't have to what people call camp hop. Let me look and see what they're doing. Let me look at that. Nah, I learned everything straight from the elder of the church, from YouTube, just watching. The Most High led me there. Of course, as young inquisitive minds, we would go and check out to see what the other camps doing. Usually I would go and watch them just for pure entertainment, right? But to be fed and to be directed aright, I fell right into G.O.C.C. And I never looked to the left. I never looked to the right. I stayed to where I belong, or where the Most High sent me. And I want to say this too. Along the way on this journey, right? We've lost many people. Not just to death, but just spiritual death, I should say. People coming in and leaving with false doctrines. Brothers and sisters, listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen clearly, right? People that you're building with, right? We all came in through the same doors. We all came in hearing and learning the same information. But along the way, it's like they get bored. And they find new information, new enticing stuff, new itching ears. That, like the scriptures say, they have itching ears. And they find this new understanding, which is not new at all, is all old conspiracies and all old trickery, but is new to them. They find it, and then they end up leaving the church and creating heresies. And like I said, I found that happens along the way. My 10 years being in this truth, right? And I praise the Most High that He gave me such a spirit to be headstrong in something that I know is true. You understand? So, lost people along the way to false doctrines. And brothers and sisters, always remember this, right? I said to remember that. I said remember obedience. That's the key. That's the key thing, because brothers, y'all don't even understand how far your obedience will bring you. But I'm going to touch on that again. But you want to always remember to remain obedient. And remember who called you. What do I mean? Who called you? A lot of us didn't even know the Most High had a name until it was the Gathering of Christ Church that showed us that the Most High had a name. Can we all agree to that? Can I see some cons in the chat, please? And I'm saying this for a reason, right? A lot of us didn't even know that the Most High had a name. I was taught that the Most High had many names, which was confusion in itself. Till I found out that the Most High have one name, and His name is Ahia, right? It's written right there, Exodus 3:13. So that's, a lot of us came in and we was taught that. And for some reason along the way, that name isn't good enough anymore. Now it's something else, right? Matter of fact, the doctrine that you got baptized under is not the way. It's something else. And you see right there, and the reason why a lot of people could be cut off from the vine or cut off from the tree is because of the lack of obedience, brothers and sisters. Stay obedient to what the Most High gave you. I'm not saying remain in ignorance, but the Most High and the elders is showing us scripture, word for word, what the scripture is saying. If you remain obedient in that, and even if there was an error somewhere down the line, the Most High will still find pleasure in your obedience, because you remain obedient and you didn't look left or right. You remain one way. And that's and the Most High is pleased in that. So I say that to say, remember your obedience to the Most High. Remember who called you. Remember the name that was given to you. Remember the name that you was baptized under. And remain diligent. Always keep walking, because like I said, had I not been obedient to the Most High during a time where my flesh was trying to convince me otherwise, this evening, this record or this stream would not be nothing. It wouldn't even be happening at this point in time. But it's happening because of one man's obedience. And it brings me to that scripture in Romans where it tells about, because of one man's obedience, everlasting life came to the world, right? Which is Christ, right? His obedience is why. And even think about it like that. Let me just bring that point out. Look at Christ's obedience, right? Look, I'm gonna paint the picture. Christ came on the scene. Yeshua came on the earth as a man. So he had all the feelings that we had. He had all the emotions. And we seen in the Garden of Gethsemane how those emotions try to overtake him, his flesh. What he was saying, Father, I can't do this. If you can, let this cup pass me. But he would always finish it and say, not my will, but your will be done. And we have to learn to speak like that to the Father. We have to learn to say, not my will, but your will. Because our will, where would it lead you? Look at your past life. Where has your own will led you? And look at the will of the Most High. Look at your life now. Look at where you are now. Look at where his will has led you. I'd rather follow the Most High's will than my own, because my own will, I was confused. I was lost. I was doing all type of foolishness in the world and thinking I'm saved. Right? So, I pray, like I said, I praise the Most High for this information. I praise the Most High for this truth. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. There's nothing for me to go back to. Where am I going to go? I always say this at Shabbats. Where am I going to go? What else am I going to do? Right? And the Most High has taken me from such a low place and now has placed me here. Right? And like I said, to myself, I'm a nobody. Who am I? I was just a kid from Brooklyn. At that time, I barely left Brooklyn. I didn't like going to other boroughs. What? Bronx? What? Queens? Ugh. What? From Brooklyn. But, right? The Most High seen something in me. And the same way how the Most High sees something in all of us here. And for whatever reason, the Most High had it where he used me for a particular reason. It's not for me to glory. It's not for none of that. But it's for me to share this experience for somebody who may be struggling with their flesh, maybe struggling with decision, maybe struggling with obedience, or maybe struggling with authority. Because I'm living proof that if you let the Most High deal with the situation or take care of the situation, look how far he'll take you. Like I said, I had no clue back in 2013, 2012, 2013, that I'll be sitting here with a camera streaming to hundreds of people and speaking to people about where I came from. I had no clue that I would be used in such a way where people would like the music, or people would enjoy the plays or the skits that I put up on Instagram. But I also started to realize that all the gifts and talents that the Most High gave me was never for myself. Because I could sit here and play music to myself all day. I could create skits and just watch it all day by myself. Who is it helping? So I realized that the Most High gave me all these gifts and these different talents to help my people. And not one time during, my walk did I have it in my mind to do this to be seen by anybody. And those people who know me, they'll tell you I've been the same ox since day one. I'm for the Most High first. My family second. Okay? I'm a man of God. I'm a husband. I'm a father. Most importantly, I'm a servant. I'm a servant. It's like how Paul was saying it. Like, yo, I'm a slave to this. It's like I can't. It's like once the Most High open up your mind to his words, there's nothing else you could really do. Like and he's looking at you like, yeah. Where else you're gonna go? I just gave you all this information. What else do you think you could do in this world? You might as well just work for me. That's how I look at it. You might as well just work for me. So, and that's my story. That's who Officer Hazak is. That's who Born of Levi is. And once again, I give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High, Rawchaa, for seeing something in me that I never seen. Right? There's so many times during this walk that I doubted myself. I doubted that I was doing the right thing. But the Most High was like, nah, I got you. Just keep doing what I tell you to do. And who would have thought it would took a span of 10 years for me to start realizing that, my purpose in the Most High. And you don't find your purpose in the Most High overnight. It don't work like that. You don't just wake up and start reading the scriptures and you find that you're an Israelite, that you automatically know what your purpose is on this earth. You find your purpose from working for the Most High. Let me say that again. To find your purpose in the Most High, you don't just find it just by sitting down and just looking around. You have to work. And while you're working, you see what you're good at. And I always say this, whatever people compliment you for, whatever people, when you bring something out and somebody's edified and they praise you for that, that is your gift. There's nothing that I don't know how else to put it, but that's how you know what your gift is. That's how you know what your work is for the Most High. That's how you know what the Most High has put in you to bless. All right, so if whatever is in you and you use it to bless someone else and people are blessed and well received, that's the gift that he gave you to give to them. Our gifts are the gifts that just keep on giving. That's how we're supposed to look at our gifts. Our gifts is never for ourselves. Our gifts is given to us to give to others, so that way they can be edified and give to others. The gift that keeps on giving. Christ's gift. He died so many can live. And through that many can live, we bring in many others with us. So. So, family, that's the Born of Levi experience. All right. So this is what we're going to be doing here. All right. So, I really appreciate you guys for listening and coming in and really seeing what's going on with the G.O.C.C media page. But I'm telling you, man, we're really going to do something special on this page. And this page or this broadcast, every time I'm broadcasting on Thursdays, this is for you guys. It's not just for me. Well, it's not really for me. It's for you guys. Because like I said, I'm so tired of turning on the TV and seeing the letter people doing what they do. I don't know if any of you guys was paying attention or are paying attention. Like, I barely watch TV, but when I do watch TV, I'm noticing that there are commercials for the letter people. And I'm looking at that thing. I'm like, yo, why? I have sons. I don't want them. But we're going to change that. Right? You know how we going to change that? Daniel 2:44. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High, shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. We are the people who the Most High is setting up right under the nose of this kingdom. He said he's building a kingdom inside of a kingdom. They don't even see it. And by the time they look, the whole kingdom. And I'm telling you, we're getting to the point where we're going to be self-sufficient. We're going to have our own. There's too much gifts and talents amongst us for us to not have our own infrastructure. It's just too much of us for the Most High not to be able to use the work of our hands and bless it. We just don't know it yet. Christ said the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. What are they taking? They taking your gifts. They taking your talents. When you punch in, they taking it by force. Yeah, you work for me. Yeah. And I'm telling y'all, if we remain obedient to the Most High, he's going to free us from all of that. I'm telling you, I'm living proof that obedience is what is necessary for the Most High's work. Right? We got to be obedient. We got to stay in order. The Most High love that. The Most High love faith. He loves obedience. He loves order, structure. And the way the Most High deals with his people, he deals with people in levels. A lot of us think that we should just graduate to the top of the class as soon as we get this truth. No, it don't work like that. How you gonna be a manager over a bank when you don't even know how to count? You don't even know how to count the register yet. You didn't even learn how to count the register, but you want to manage the bank. We don't think about that. We don't think about these things. The Most High works in levels. And as you can see in this world, they copy the Most High. They make you start in levels, right? Daycare, pre-K, kindergarten, right? First grade, second grade, you going up until you get your master's or your doctorate. And I don't even know what's above a doctorate because I never finished that thing, right? But the Most High works in levels. So this for any one of you guys who's new to this, who just came into the truth and is learning from the church, stay diligent and be patient. Like the scripture says, to wait on your ministry. Your ministry is not going to just it's not going to just be given to you as soon as you walk through the doors. Like I said, in order to find your purpose, you must work. There's a lot of works that could be done in the church. Not just the glorious works of speaking on the mic or singing the lead song. It's not. There's more works. Pick up a broom. Hand out flyers. Matter of fact, go and get the flyers printed out for the people that hand out the flyers. There's so much works. But the Most High is looking to use those that are obedient. And we all want to be used by the Father. We all want to. Right? It's like we're all children looking for the Father's approval. And I'm telling you, he's going to give you his approval. But you have to show him that you're diligent. You have to show him that you're obedient. Right? You have to. And it's very important, man. And I'm telling you guys, you will go far. You will definitely go far. We will go far as a people. We definitely will. Right? Like I said, so that's my story in a nutshell. Right? This is who I am. This is what we're bringing to the channel. Trust me, everything that listen, we're gonna bring out so much more. We're gonna do. I'm gonna try to do some interviews. Nothing crazy. Nothing radical. All right. I got history doing some radical stuff, but we're gonna keep it all in decency and order, and making sure that these things is profitable for our people as far as learning, right? building up, the children of Israel, because a lot of us, we have nothing. We came from nothing. So the Most High don't want to just leave us here and not have anything. There's levels. It's always a level. And like I said, if you in the truth 4 or 5 years and you haven't leveled up and you still the same person, you got to check your walk, right? Check your walk. But definitely, man, I appreciate you all for coming in. Look at, praise the Most High. Let me do a roll call real quick, man. Praise the Most High for all you guys coming in. But like I said, please continue to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, man. Definitely drive traffic to this stream. Like I said, I'm gonna be streaming every Thursday 7 p.m. right? So today I'm just doing a welcome show, a informative show, nothing crazy. I just want to do that. So let's go to the I'll play this. Okay. Let's play this. Okay, yeah. Let's do a roll call. Let me do some shout outs, man. And I see some familiar people that was always present during my old streams, man. Praise the Most High. Shout outs to y'all for coming back and rocking with your Ak, right? All right, let me see. I don't want to miss no names, but I'm gonna try my best. I see you. Shout outs to Ak, Ya'ara, Marie C, G.O.C.C, ATL, Shalom, nice to see you again. Lady Zion, Shalom. Felipe, Shalom. KD, Shalom, right? Callistius, Deacon Yachad, yo, Shalom, what's going on, my brother? Yes, sir. Gerline, Sarah, Israel, Shalom, right? Danita, Yolanda, all right? Listen, so much names. Listen, Lanessa, Shalom, right? Fred, listen, Derek, come on, everybody, yo, Jay Ellis, let's go, come on, Solomon, come on, Christine Perry, Shalom, sis, what's going on? Carol, okay, AJN, okay, praise the Most High, welcome everybody, man, and share it with all of the family, man. And like I said, we're gonna be here, and we're gonna work, man. We're definitely gonna work. My daddy made this. Let me see something real quick. All right, yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna do nothing too crazy. This is the first show, right? I was gonna see if I could do a stupor. I'm gonna save it for next week. Listen, next week you'll be entertained, right? Next week you'll definitely be entertained. Are you not entertained? And we'll be tracking the stupor together. And on my old channel, there's a stupor that we've been tracking the whole year. I'm gonna see what else is new on this character. But listen, we're gonna stay up to date. We're gonna follow this thing until we see Christ crack the sky. You heard me. Yeah, we're gonna be following this thing until we see Christ crack the sky, man. So praise the Most High for that. Anything that I'm missing right now? Let me think. Okay, we got G.O.C.C Cleveland in the house. Shalom, right? I'm thinking if there's something I'm missing. No, I'm not really missing anything right now. But I really thank you guys for coming in, man. Like I said, I just doing a short live just to introduce the channel, just to welcome everybody new and old to the Born of Levi experience, right? And I really do appreciate you guys for coming in.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi experience.
Yeah, I got some new toys. I got some new bells and whistle. I'm feeling hype. I just want to press every button as I'm going, but I can't do that. I gotta take my time with it. But I appreciate you guys for coming in. You already know I appreciate you guys. I definitely appreciate and love you guys for coming in. And, you know, I ain't going to take up too much of your time. It's still early. It's 8:30. Well, I can't give you everything in one night, guys. I really can't. I really wish I could, but I can't. I just wanted to let you guys in and let you guys know who I am. But I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Stay prayed up. Watch. Pray always. And remember, like we spoke about today, remain obedient. Stay true to the cause, right? And I'm telling you, the Most High, he's going to see you through, right? Oh, Galal, what's going on? My man. Yo, my man is in the building. Shalom, the Galilean. My man is in the building. Shalom. But I definitely do appreciate you guys and for coming in. But this is not farewell, but it's just good night for now. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up this show with just that, right? So like I said, I appreciate you guys. Most High willing, I'll see you all next week. For those of you who's at service, I'll see you at service. Sister Shirley, I'll see you too. All right. Listen, I ain't forget. We gonna be rehearsing tomorrow, right? And everybody who got something to do for Passover, make sure you're there tomorrow in the Bronx, sharp. All right. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with yous, right? All right, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Love you. Peace and blessings, and welcome to the Born of Levi experience.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Shalom.